Hello, my name is Rye, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're all having another amazing day. I know I am. And today we're going over the first video in going over Battlecore TCG's Set 1 Legend cards. This is the first of what I'm planning on being 2 videos because there's just not that many Legend cards. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and be jumping into the video. So the first Legend card made for Battle Cores is this card right here called Matter Tracer. Matter Tracer is a Plasma Alien Legend card. It's a 4/3, and to summon it, you need to discard 2 active alien cards. So active, not alien cards with the active effect. As you can see, since it's a lowercase a, just means alien cards that are in play. And you just need to get rid of 2 of them. And then what you get when it is in play is the effect Active, Survival, and True Strike. So it's a very solid card. You can get it out as early as turn 1 with a 1-up, but turn 2, realistically, by doing what's known as the Alien Engine with Wuggletez, which I went over Wuggletez in one of my previous videos going over Set 1's monster cards. Wuggletez is a very big and important card. Even though its stats are small and its price is low, it's an incredibly important and powerful card. And I go over that card in more detail, like I said in that video. But yeah, anyway, Matter Tracer is not hard to get out. You can get it out as early as turn 2, and you get a 4/3 with Active, Survival, and True Strike, and you get it out for 2 points. That's really, really good. And then once it's in play, then you get another card up here called Chog, which has a very lengthy effect. Again, I went over the I went over this card in another one of the monster videos. So if you've watched those, and you already get the gist of what these do, but you also get that as well, and so you can get a lot of value for playing this card. But on its own, it's a 4/3 with Active, Survival, and True Strike. I guess I could go over what those are. Active just means that this card can attack the turn that it's summoned. Usually cards cannot attack on that first turn, but if they have active, then they can. Survival means that if their armor stat, so his stat of 3 right here, if the armor stat would be reduced below 1, so enough to take it out, then instead it is reduced to 1, and they lose survival. So it's like a one-time get-out-of-jail-free card, pretty much. It's like a one-time, no, you don't take out my card, actually. It does not protect against, discarding or removal through card effects or whatever, but if it's being taken out through damage, whether it's through attacks or through card effects, then it's able to keep itself going. And then True Strike is a little bit more complicated. And I would advise reading the rules to figure it out. But pretty much just, it gives you the opportunity to get the most value out of your high power stat and continue to go through and deal damage to the opponent if your power stat is higher than their armor, than the defending card's armor. And so overall, these are all great effects on a big-bodied card like this, and it makes this card a very powerful and just, pretty much staple card for Set 1. And it's not like it gets worse later on, it continues to be a phenomenal card in Set 2 and whatnot, so it's another one of those cards that you're never realistically going to be disappointed with getting in a card pack. But yeah, so that's Matter Tracer. It's one of the more simple Legend cards, but because of the right amount of support that's been given, it's able to shine and show just how good of a card it is. Anyway, The next card is Potato King. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, this card I made too strong. And so, for competitive play, this card is banned because it is so strong. But I have to go over it because it is a card. So I'm gonna go over it, but just to throw that out there. And I don't wave around the word banned easily, willy nilly. It's because it's an incredibly strong card, and it kind of locks the opponent out of playing the game. But anyway, Potato King is a part of the Potato archetype, obviously. But Potato King is a nature plant type legend card. It is a 2/5, and to summon it, you need to discard an active potato, or you need to discard active potato cards with a combined price of 2 or more. So, active in the sense of in play. If it's talking about active as in the card effect active, it would say, for example, like potato cards with active instead of active potato cards. So you need potato cards, whether monsters or support cards or whatever, in play with a combined price of 2 or more. So not that hard to play. The easiest option for doing so is just throwing down a super potato, because it fulfills the whole price right here, and then you're immediately able to discard it to summon your Potato King. And what it does once it is actually in play, card effect wise, is start up. So when the card is summoned, when it's put in play, start up, search one support card. So you just get a support card for free from the deck. You just support, you search any kind of support card. That's really, really strong, because the versatility is obviously massive. Any support card in the game I can get with this. It's incredibly versatile. The only restriction is that it has to be from the deck. But yeah. And then the main part of the effect that's actually too strong is this whole part in the parentheses. For every monster summoned, support card activated, and attack made by the opponent, they have to pay +1 points. So they have to pay an additional point for pretty much doing anything. If you've seen my videos going over these cards, then you've heard me mention again and again and again and again, every single time that this situation comes up, that anything that has to do with the price of cards, especially price reduction, or gaining additional points or anything like that, is incredibly powerful in this game. Like, incredibly powerful. And so making the opponent pay an additional point just for doing anything is similarly incredibly powerful. Yeah, this card just locks the opponent out of the game pretty much. And so it just slows down the game a lot, and it's just not fun to play against. And so I unfortunately had to ban it. I will give a small sneak peek. In set 4, the card gets an errata, so it is changed to, I'm hoping to be not as crazy and not too overpowered, but as of set 1 through set 3, it is banned because it is too strong. It's just not fun to play against. Anyway, the next card is Razor Tater. Razor Tater is kind of an honorary member of the potato archetype, in spite of not having potato in the name. But yeah, so Razor Tater is a nature plant type legend card with the stats 3/2, and to summon it, you need to discard 1 active potato monster or 2 handed potato cards. So you can get it out as early as turn 1, which is really, really cool. Get out for 0 points if you have 2 cards in your hand that you're willing to discard that are potato cards. But yeah, pretty decent card. And then the effect that you get is active, so it can attack the turn that's summoned. And victory, so whenever it takes out a card, whenever it attacks another card and takes it out, you get to do 2 burn damage to the opponent, which is nice. And Ender, so when this card is discarded, you get to search 3 potato cards and gain 2 points. That's probably the most powerful part of this card, is the Ender effecting to search potato cards and gain points and all that good stuff. But outside of that, it's just a pretty decent body that you can get out on turn 1, and it's just a decent turn 1 play for these potato abusing Tree Vitality decks. There's not that much else to say about it. It's a decent card, but it's not like anything crazy or whatever. I really like the artwork, but that's about it. Yeah, so that's Razor Tater, very simple. And the last card that we're going to be going over for this video is Grieving Rager. Grieving Rager is a Fire Beast type legend card with the stats 5/5, so really big stats. And its effect says Survival, Defender, and Startup gain HP equal to the amount of cards in your hand. This is an okay card. Oh, I completely skipped over the summoning requirements. To summon it, you need 2 points and 1 active beast card. So it's a little pricey because you need a beast card in play, and then you need to pay 2 points on top of that. You need to pay 2 points and discard that beast card. It can be any beast card, so it's not super restrictive. It just costs a bit more than what some decks may want to play, and the value that you get out of it is limited. I'll go ahead and go over Survival. Survival, well, we already know what that does, and then I'll skip the Defender and go over that last, and go over Startup. Startup, gain HP equal to the amount of cards in your hand, so you're likely to be gaining, what, like 3-4 HP off of this, so it's not a big deal. It's not super influential or anything like that. But Defender. What Defender does is, another thing to mention, sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but I just thought of this. I actually had not noticed this, until just now. This card works with Star of Ruin. Because Star of Ruin reduces the price of fire monsters, this is a fire monster that costs points, so those points would be reduced. So it would, with 2 Star of Ruin in play, would just take a beast card, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, Defender, what Defender does is it, every monster card comes inherently with the ability to make 1 attack per turn, besides the turn that they're summoned. What Defender says is that it switches out that attack for the ability to block. How blocking works is basically when a card is choosing an attack, you can choose to temper your Defender card to redirect the attack towards the Defender, and then the Defender takes that hit. But on top of that, the Defender also deals damage to the attacker equal to the amount of power that it has. So in this case, it would be the massive 5 damage, which is enough to take out most anything. So, Grieving Rager is one of the better defenders because of that high armor and that incredibly high power as well. And then with Survival guaranteeing its ability to take a hit, and that even gets you a bit of health back. So it's definitely not a bad card. It just doesn't really do a whole lot else besides just be a big monster that doesn't really have a way to get around trying to play it easier. So it's just it's kind of like Matter Tracer if Matter Tracer didn't have the ability to play it really quickly and easily. Like if Wuggle didn't exist and you just had to get it out based off of like Sim the Trog and Chog and whatnot. Not a bad card, not super impressive or anything, but it's a decent card, and if you're running beast types, you know, it might be worth running, especially if you're not running anything else in that slot, just in case, you know, it's nice to have. But yeah, so that's Grieving Rager, and that is the last card that I'm going to be going over in this video. So, I hope that you all have a blessed day, and fare thee well.